me do this. If you're not doing this, I'm guessing you don't hear me. Okay, perfect. So, a few words about me and what I do. I'm a content marketer and growth expert. So I work with startups to help them grow their amount of active users and build a community. I'm actually building an agency these days. Well, I'm saying like building. I've been doing this for the last year. So it's an interesting experience for me to build a company as well, and actually work with other people rather than myself doing stuff and like being happy with me. And managing a team is super hard. I never thought it's going to be that hard, but it's an amazing experience. So the reason we're all here right now is because I think it was in November, right? Yeah, it was November. Gil, who's sitting right here, asked me if I want to host an event as part of the Global Entrepreneurship Week. And I said, yeah. It ended up being this, okay? We brought over 1,367 people to the event without spending any dollar in budget, no long crazy nights of marketing the event, nothing. And today I'm here to share with you how we've done. Now, I'm gonna start with saying this. If you're expecting to hear a few tactics that you can do, A, B, C, D, you have 1,000 people, I'm going to disappoint you today. If you're expecting to hear, do 3 Facebook posts, create 1 landing page, and you'll get 1,000 people to your next event, you're not gonna hear it today, but I am going to share a little bit of the most honest truth that I can. I'm not sure it's always pleasant, right? Because there's something deeper. When you do something, there's something deeper than your actual movement at that point. And you're gonna understand what I'm saying in just a few minutes. This is how most event organizers operate, right? You have a context, which is like a small part at the beginning. You do some research like, oh, who should I bring? Who do you think should be interesting? Then they kind of hassle a lot about the logistics. And then they like spend, like, let's say almost 80% of their time promoting their event, right? How many of you know this feeling right now? And raise your hands, don't do the silent this. Let's be proud. Okay. So the reason, by the way, that this is red, because this is where you start panicking, right? Everyone's like, I need to bring people, there's not enough signups, people are not coming in, I don't know, 20 days, 2 weeks. I'm gonna share with you right now, in like one simple graph, the difference between how we operate and how we brought that amount of people. Okay. We spent, my team and I, more time on context. You're gonna understand exactly what context means. More time on research than we've done on logistics and promotion together. Now, admittedly, logistics, most of it was Gil and the guys from Google. But this is how the promotion worked. And Gil was with me on emails, and I was actually speaking with Marta and Nikla from the campus as this was going along. And the red for us was, and I'm going to spoil it because you said you want to accuse me of this. Okay, but the red was us panicking, how are we going to fit everybody into that room? Okay, that was us panicking, not about how we're going to get people. Because the truth is, right, and this is like the most anticlimax thing I could do, is that we had over 150 people less than 2 hours after we published the event. Okay, this is the truth. The hard truth was like a week after, Gil was like, hey, how is the promotion going? And I said, listen, how big is the room? And he said, it's the bigger room in the campus, so it's okay. Okay, great, because we have 300 people. He's like, no, 300 is too much. Yeah, but they won't gonna show up, they're not gonna show up, that's okay. Let it run a little bit more, we'll stop it. Okay, and then it's only like 20 more people, yeah, that's okay, it's gonna die down. I think it was like 5 days before the event, right? And Gil calls me up again, so how's that? Well, we have 900 people. And he's like, how are we going to manage that? No, they're not going to show up, don't worry. Just Like everybody says they're going to come in. And then on the day of the event, we were here, and I was like going to the client Martha, and I was like, listen, I saw the room. There's like about 1,300 people that said they're going to show up, and I'm not sure they're going to fit in. And basically, like, and then I think it was Martha or you to say, well, you know, Facebook events is not like a really good like way to know. And if people, the fact that somebody said RSVP on the meetup doesn't mean that everybody's going to show up. I said, yeah, no, I'm talking about emails, like RSVP'd signed up emails. We have over 1,370 or something like that. Show up, and I'm afraid that we're not going to have room. What ended up being basically like 200 people crowded, 300 people crowded in that room, I think. We had to go from, like, we couldn't go through the entrance, first of all because everybody was furious at us, my fault, admittedly, but we just could not go in the room. You had such a crazy line through the elevator, and they brought us in through the back. It was like a very Lady Gaga, I guess, kind of moment. I don't know what's hip anymore. I don't know what music people listen to, so. And I'm too afraid to say Justin Bieber, basically, so I'm going to go with Lady Gaga. So anyway, and we actually did not spend that much time promoting it, but we've spent the right time in context and research. Right? There's a famous Lincoln quote saying, give me 6 hours to chop down a tree and I will spend the first 4 sharpening the axe. This is true for any kind of marketing. Okay? This is true for any type of marketing that you're going to do ever in your life. If you're getting to the point where like 2 days before your product hunt launch, right? Or you're 2 days before your event, or a month, and you're not just starting to think about tactics, how am I going to bring in people? How would I reach the people who might be interested in my company or my event? If you're at that situation, you're already losing. Okay? You're already losing because it means that you're not doing the right work before that. You're not going to build a community in 2 days, 2 weeks, 1 month because you have an event and you're stressed out. Nobody, it's on video, but nobody gives a shit about it. Right? Not about me, not about anyone. Right? The fact that you now need a community or upvotes or people to RSVP, nobody gives a shit about it. Right? Like I can promise you, it's hurtful how much it's true. Nobody cares about us. So I told you that I spent like the beginning on content. Now, I've been doing growth hacking content marketing, right, for about 7 years. When I mean I've been doing this, I don't mean I've been going to meetups. I've been, doing my own thing. I've been blogging about this. I've been a part of the community. Our blog was like one of the top 2 blogs in growthhackers.com in 2014. I've been talking at meetups for like 3 or 2 years. I've done over 120 lectures in Israel in the past 2 years. Right? I've been blogging my ass off, right? Right now, I'm doing Twitter, Snapchat, blogging, second blog, by the way. There's a professional marketing blog. There's a personal grow your company blog. I've been doing guest blogs. I've been doing podcasts. And I'm not saying this right now because look how awesome I am. I'm saying this because when I tweeted something, when I posted something, when I said, hey, I'm going to do an event about growth hacking, I already had a massive community that I've been giving value to for 3 years. So the fact that I posted this on Facebook meant more than if somebody who's just like, you know what, I'm going to run a marketing event. It's my first thing I'm doing as a marketer. I'm going to run a marketing event, and everybody's going to come because I'm a marketer. What value did you give to the world? Well, I'm a marketer, right? Nobody cares. But the thing is, I've been doing growth hacking and content marketing for 7 years, loudly, right? I've been doing this so loud. My first talk was in the Global Entrepreneurship Week 4 years ago, right? Yeah, in Africa.
Whoa.
Right? It had like I think it was a mixture of the week and also like Jeff Pollard was there, I think, right? And Mel, and so that was my first talk. And you know what my first talk was about? 10 minutes about how to promote yourself on LinkedIn, right? I gave value for all this time. That's what I've been doing. And I'm not asking for back much, right? Actually, if somebody's following me, I've never sold you anything in the past 4 years. I've never said be our customer, I never said buy our product. I never even said upvote for us. So when I got to the point, when I raised a marketing event about growth hacking, right? I gave value for so long that when I do something, I have people who actually listen to me and know that this event will bring them value. And they know that I'm not promoting myself, right? Now, the second thing is, when Gil said, hey, do you want to do something? I didn't say, well, I'll give a talk. I said, no, I want to bring key-ass people to do the talk. I'm not the center of this. The value somebody's going to get, that's the center of this. Now, because I was doing this for so long, when I wrote something, when I bought this event, and if somebody else's would have done like a growth hacking event, it would not have been as big. Not because I'm a genius, it's because I'm doing this for so long, and I became so much value. So everybody who just like decides to do I'm gonna say Fashion Tech. It's not about like the community, just because that's what I remember. Fashion Tech. It's not about anybody here. My wife is in Fashion Tech, so that's like the genre that I remember here. We can do robotics. We can do whatever we want. But if I'm not giving value in that field, and the first thing that I do is like invite you to my event, it's not gonna work, right? It's not gonna work very well for me. The second thing that I've put in the work, and it took me 2 weeks to get back to Peel, by the way, with the answer of what exactly are we going to do.
More than 2 weeks.
More than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And he was like, but what do you want to do? I was like, I'm thinking, I'm researching this. I said, yeah, but we have to give an answer. Let me 2 more days, give me 2 more days. It's because I was researching my ass off on what can actually keep value, right? So the research was not me calling people, hey, what do you think is bring to speak? And then get the same answers that every other event gets, right? I can name 4 marketers or 4 entrepreneurs that are, I think, almost in every marketing meetup, event, keynote speak in Israel for the last 3 years. And they're good friends. They're smart, amazing people. I'm holding myself not to say like bad words because of the video. So, okay, so, and they're amazing, they really are, but everybody already knows what they have to say, right? And everybody's like, who can bring in the crowds? Nobody can bring in the crowds. The value can bring in the crowd. So the first thing that I was doing is I started looking around what's out there right now. And I found 2 opportunities, okay? Now, I was segmented to different parts. But I knew that in November there was supposed to be a huge conference organized, bringing Sean Alice, bringing guys from Intercom, like a huge growth hacking event, hardcore growth hacking event, practitioners from all over the world. The ticket was super expensive. There was high intent, right, of the speakers to come in. There was high intent of people to go to that event. People were already talking about it, but the event got canceled. Tickets sold, prices, speakers who couldn't come, doesn't matter. But I knew that right now there's an opportunity because people are aiming towards that kind of event. They were looking for a really good growth hacking event because in Israel the buzzword growth hack just got in. Nobody knows what it means. Most people do lead magnets and PPC and call it growth hacking. It's not growth hacking. But everybody was already waiting for that kind of an event, right? So I did the research, so I knew that people were aching for a real hardcore event about growth hacking, right? I didn't do like, what do I want to speak about? I was actually looking to what are people already has intent in going to. The next thing I did is I asked, what will interest my target audience, right? And I didn't want to say, I've never said, I want to bring 200 people. I said, who do I want to bring? What is the audience that I would love to get in, to come in and get tons of value? I didn't care if 10 people come in. You didn't know that, but I didn't care if like 10 people come in, right? And actually, if you've seen the broadcast, because we also broadcasted that live, right? Then I remember, basically I brought in people that I really, as a growth hacker, as a marketer, I just wanted to grill them with questions because I was really interested to see how they work, right? And those are people that are my friends in the industry, but I would never have the chance to just sit down and ask them all these questions about how they work. So I just like planned an event so people like me can get the answers that they were looking for, right? And I know that I was the target audience with this one, and I knew that there were others like me. The next thing I did is to look into the community. What are they already speaking about? What blogs are they reading? I actually tracked down Product Hunt Israel. I actually tracked down Growth Hackers Israel, both communities, to see what posts are they sharing, right? To see what people are they interested in. I actually saw it to see what are the headlines that are grabbing attention. And then I thought, who are the people who can actually do the same on stage, right? And the best thing I knew is that I'm going to say this. I don't like most meetups, most conferences in the world, by the way, are bullshit. Like they're the worst thing in the world. It's a crappy waste of time. You come in and somebody says like, there's a Facebook talk, so the Facebook talk is about how Facebook is good for marketing. It's like they have 1.5 billion views. We know that. Nobody cares, right? We know that it's worse. And you go out of those conferences and you've learned nothing. You feel inspired as you hear this because somebody's giving you like how we did this and this, but you've learned nothing. And most conferences are a freaking waste of time. We all know this. It's good for mingling, right? That's the excuse we all bring. You come in, there's food and drinks, or you meet other people from industry, but there are people talking for 8 hours straight on stage. It can't be that for the 8 hours nothing interesting is happening there, And we all know this. Everybody here who went to a conference in the past 5 years know, like maybe more, but I've been going to 5 years, so like I'm going to speak about what I know, right? Knows that most of the talks are super boring. And then there was one talk here that everybody was super excited about. It was 2 years ago, I think, or a year and a half ago. It was when Neil Patel came to Israel. And everybody were tweeting happy about the fact that he told us to do embed code and he showed me this because it was actual practitioner. Not just like growth hacking is good. He actually gave them actionable tips. And I knew that I need to bring people who are practitioners and not speakers, right? So I knew that the people that I was looking for in the panel should be people who will give you hardcore advice and will actually share how they do things. Not just advocate for the company or how amazing they are. Not just speaking buzzwords like when we growth hack, just to give the actual things. Like the people who went there, they got tools, they got snippets of code on how to do things, right? You had Danya Schwartz from Everything Me and now Alumni, now she does crazy stuff in her life. And she was speaking about how she connects Redash into your MySQL and kind of analyze data. When were you at a conference that actually does that, right? So I knew I had to bring practitioners because that's what people actually want to get now. They're not getting it anywhere else. So I knew that our conference can do it. And I wanted to do this, create like an inherent rarity of this, right? So the inherent rarity here was that these people never speak at events. You almost have no chance to go in and listen to Justin from Yotpo. He was at the event talking about he grew Yotpo, right? Like from WordPress plugin, Shopify, the tools. You don't get the chance. You almost don't get the chance to hear Tal from Visually, who almost never speaks, right? He's not the most amazing speaker in the world, but he has so much knowledge of how to bring traffic using content. And he was sitting there on stage, not doing anything impressive, like performance-wise, but he was like, yeah, so if you want to bring like 1.5 million people for this and this, you can do this. He was giving hardcore tips, and those people never speak, right? So if you miss this event, you're going to miss a lot of tips for 4 of the world's, like Israel's fastest growing companies, okay? And again, I was just reading blogs and I knew what people care about. Eventually, I didn't care how many people show up, I just wanted to give extreme value. That's what people can show up, right? Not for the meetup. So logistics again, like I can claim that we've done the right messaging for the speakers, that's how we brought them in, right? And made it these people I know, so it wasn't like the most professional call. It was like, hey Tal, what's up? I know that you don't want to speak, but we're doing this and this, and it should be cool. It should be a small event, should be fun, right? And so that's how it went with most companies. Location, again, we got this. It's not us. I can't take credit for this. But we set up the infrastructure needed to do all the marketing the right way. So what does it mean? When somebody signed up, there was a viral loop in the email, right? Nobody does viral loops for emails for events, right? People just get the email, get to say RSVP yes. We had a viral loop. We had a sequence of emails going out to the people who signed up to the event. We had a sequence of Facebook posts and stuff that we've done to get people interested in the event. But we've done it beforehand. We didn't say, hey, we have a date. It's 2 weeks, not enough signups. What do we do now? We planned for this as if we're launching a product. We planned for this as if we're just trying to get real traction for a product, right? Not just like, we have a meetup, let's see what happens. So in terms of promotion, and this is like where everybody loves the tactics. So so the first thing, we had a real event landing page. I don't know if I have internet here for me. I've spoken here before, so maybe I do. You don't?
You have the password on the phone.
All right, you guys think about it. Let's see. Speed, right? I shouldn't have done that like with showing this screen. Ah, you don't see it here, okay. Because I was showing the password and then I thought like, we're recording this, everybody can see the password, not the smartest idea. Okay. Okay, so this was the actual page that we used. Okay, hacking your growth, live event.
Good memories.
What?
Good memories.
Okay, by the way, we also did a case study for this for Splashdot, the company we actually did the landing page on. Okay, so we had joined for a special event. Everything needs to be in there. Google Campus, growth stories from similar web visually, everything in Yotpo, speakers, panel host, similar web, talent, all those speakers. This actually looks like a big conference. Right, I'm looking at it right now after like almost 6 months, 4 months, yeah. This actually looks like a big conference. This should looks like something that's gonna cost you money, and it does, right? You had this agenda, right? Q&A, location, everything, right? So we had a proper, we basically just had a proper landing page for an event, not for a meetup, not for it's free, so use meetup.com. We actually built the entire infrastructure. We spent time on this, okay? The next thing is that before going, we planned our distribution list. Our distribution list was like our social media, right? My personal one and some of my employees. It was like some of the emails from Gil. It was the email for us, right? Like we have a mailing list of our own clients, people who signed up to the blog, downloaded the ebooks, etc. Those were our distribution channels. We didn't do anything not paid. We didn't boost anything up. We opened a Facebook event, and now the reason we opened a Facebook events, I think, is the last viral thing that runs on Facebook. Okay, it's the only thing or the last thing. When you create one, a lot of people see it and are interested by it. Like pages doesn't work. Let's be honest, right? Nothing is viral with pages. Groups might be, but Facebook events is the only feature on Facebook that is still highly valuable for marketers because everybody sees the event. Everybody joins in, and every time you join in, other people get it, right? So basically, we use Facebook event because I knew there was going to be virality in it, right? And in the event, basically, by the way, we said, hey, go to this page and sign up. But we knew that more people will know about this event through this. The next thing we did is that we leveraged the community. What do I mean by that? I mean that we have people who follow us. We give value for a few years now. So I can just jump in the people who I know are influencers and say, hey, would you mind sharing this? We're doing this at this event, right? And also, like, the speakers did the same thing through their companies, through their personal profiles, so the speakers have been giving value all this time as well. So they have actually good assets in terms of social media and community, right? If you think about this, by the way, for this event, the years brought into this event to make this event so successful, for me it was like almost about 7 years, but for like, Danny is doing this for 15 years, I think, or more, and Justin's doing it for a few years, and Ariel, everybody's doing this for a few years now. So basically, for this event to be successful, you have to bring in all the value, all the work, all the reputation we all built for those years into that event. This is what we brought to this event. We didn't bring like Facebook page, right? So we gave the inside story. We just basically shared a lot of things that we've been doing. Like we said, okay, I just spoke with Tal from Visually, and he's gonna join for it. But that's like a Facebook post, and people saw that one. Or like just spoke with Similar Web or the founder, and they said they're gonna come to speak at the gig. We tweeted it. We didn't use Snapchat at the time, but like we tweeted it. We wrote it on Facebook, and people saw it on their ongoing updates. We were sharing what are we doing. People saw us building the landing page live, right? Because we share that kind of stuff. So we actually, I think we had like 40-something viewers watching me and Dan, the guys in my team, just sitting and like stretching pixels like idiots, right? But with like a camera on it, and then we were showing that. So we had viewers for that as well. Like we did some email marketing. We did build some hype through, we took quotes from our speakers and we kind of shared them on our social media. They shared them on their social media. Not much more than that. We used the hashtag, and we asked people to use it on Twitter all the time. When people came to the event, we actually asked them to use the hashtag when you get ready, or if you're doing something that has to do with the event. Wasn't a big success at all. Okay, the hashtag was a huge fail, right? Like, I don't think anybody came from that hashtag. I think the only thing I got from the hashtag was like a few foreign Twitter accounts retweeting it, and it's like it was obvious that it's like robots, but they were retweeting it every 3 minutes. Nobody cared, right? Like a lot of eggs retweeting this, like the icon, right? And actually just did really engagement. We spoke with people. Like we didn't copy paste, hey, come to our event. We spoke with people who genuinely care about this. Right? That's amazing that marketers can actually speak to people and not copy paste their message. We spend like a lot of time with like real people giving value. Okay. All this resulted in that amount of people coming into the event. Now, again, what most people do, and it's a mindset, right? We're not geniuses. I'm not amazing. I'm nothing, right? A lot of marketers are doing what I'm doing. We just put in the work, right? Not enough marketers put in the work as marketers, right? How many of you know Twitter marketers who actually use Twitter for marketing, like real marketing, not just buffer, send articles, top articles from growthhackers.com, using Twitter, using Snapchat? Nobody does it. That's why it's so simple here, right? So all these brought us to the event itself. So most marketers, well, people came in, screw it, let's stop marketing, let's stop branding this, let's stop giving back, because we got what we needed, right? That's what most people do. How many of you ever said thank you to somebody who upvoted you on Product Hunt, right? Nobody does that. You go, upvote, please give us your support, please give us your support. The day after it's like, I don't know who these people are, but they voted us for us. Like, that's what most marketers do. But for us, in mid-event, we did a live broadcast, right? We did it for two reasons, by the way. We did it because we knew that about 600 people had to go back home after, like, really getting it. Like 300, 400, it was like a few hundreds of people who came in and we, like, when we were already here, we started texting people, listen, don't show up, there's no room. It was like 40 minutes before the event started. Just like, listen, we fucked up, because we did. Basically, by the way, this is like a fun story, because people came in, we fucked up, like we sent people back home. They were not happy about this, right? I was running around the halls putting signs that I wrote with the hashtag to follow on Meerkat, right? Meerkat was still broadcasting then. So we put in the hashtag for Meerkat, like watch this live here, watch it live here. Some people stayed here in the hallway, they were watching and interacting through Meerkat. But we knew that some people just won't be able to make it. Right? Left alone the people who came in, and we just didn't want them to be like bummed out. We knew that some people are actually interested, but they're not going to make it. Right? But again, if I would have only cared about the fact that we had an event, come to our event, we would never say that we're going to live broadcast it. And we promoted the fact that it's going to be live broadcast. Because I don't care if people come, I just want them to see the value that we have to give them. That's it. So we did a live broadcast, and we also had Mark Levy, who actually live tweeted the event. Taking pictures, live tweeting of it. Because, first of all, you keep branding, you keep giving. Like, the event that you're doing right now is just a promotion for the next thing you're going to do in your life, right? The company you're working with right now, the product you're launching right now, this is just another step, right? It's not the end goal. It's never the end goal. So when you do this, you have to build for the next thing you're doing, right? So this event, we didn't think we were going to do like a massive events afterwards, building arenas of like growth hackers, like having Alice Cooper being the first act and then like bringing somebody talking about growth hacking. We knew it's not going to happen, right? But we knew that our brand, the people who came to speak with us, Google's brand, Yale's brand, like we have to keep giving value because everything is alive, everything is going to keep coming back to us, right? And after the event, the event was over, people actually went home, we went to bed, it was a whole new day. We actually started doing email marketing to the people who already went to the event. We wanted nothing for them. And first of all, we sent an apology the next day, right? We didn't forget about the people who got stuck outside. It's like, oh, we did what we did, that was the event. Because we actually sent an email just, saying how an idiot, like how stupid I am that I didn't stop the hours before. Like the email was like 80% how much of an idiot I am, and 20% like being apologetic about it. And we didn't just say, let's say sorry and everybody will forgive it. We actually did 3 emails later, still giving value. So the next email that came out, we had some incentives. We basically gave them, I think it was like 15 content pieces, not by us. Well, some of them were by us, just like growth hacking interviews, webinars that we've done with some of the people who spoke at the event. Like we had some really good webinars at the time. We just shared them for free. We usually like do email, blah, blah, blah. We just shared it for free. We took, like, I actually asked people that I know. I've been working with a lot of the companies abroad, like with Intercom and with Pinterest. And like I know a lot of the marketers in those companies. And I asked them to give like something that I can share with this community for free. So that the people who actually came in or actually didn't came in to the event, they get tons of like free, amazing knowledge from some of the top brands in the world. Right? They got growth tips from Brian Balfour. You know who Brian Balfour is? He's like the head of growth for HubSpot. Right? And he sent us like a template that I can send them. Right? We did all that effort even though there was nothing to promote. There was nothing they can give me more that I needed. I was not launching, I just wanted to give value back. And the last thing we did, we sent, of course, a recording. And we offered a live Ask Me Anything with each participant of the panels for free. Right? actually the third one never happened because just didn't happen. Like, there was not enough interest after this, right? And I know because open rates went down, subscribers went up, right? So I knew that it was not getting any buzz. But we actually put in the work after the event, right? So to sum things up, I don't know how much time I've been speaking, but like it's late, I guess, right? So always remember that you're doing the work for the long run and build your brand and your community. This is what really brought us all these people, right? I wish I could come in and say like, we did this tactic and this tactic and this. It doesn't work. The more you put into your effort in giving value, the more you put into the right research before you do an event, the marketing will become much easier, right? This is the simple equation. The crappier the situation you're at, the harder the marketing is, right? And I learned this when I was 19. I was doing PR for musicians, right? So when I had an article about this new upcoming artist, I could spend a month, 2 months, like writing to the reporters from Malrive and Galgalatz, like, listen, you have to give this guy a chance, he's really good, listen to him. Nothing, nobody cared. Maybe after 2 months you would get like this short piece like with 15 letters like, this guy exists, didn't die yet, has an album, spelled the name wrong, right? But if you had like, I don't know, like bigger artists like Belisahov, Dudi Levy, I don't know, Geffen, right? So you can just basically text someone having like tons of misspelling and you will get like a double spread the next day on the Yediot Ahronoth, right? Because the quality of what you bring to the table, right, makes the marketing super easy. If you're struggling with marketing, it means that you didn't brought enough value before, right? If you got to the finish line and right now you're like, I don't have anyone to support me, it means that you didn't put in the real work before, right? You build your community for a long time before you even ask something. The reason this event was successful is because we brought a lot of knowledge, a lot of research, a lot of care about the community. We've all been putting out so much value, right? So people were actually looking up for this event, right? We didn't just get speakers. We didn't just like, well, we're doing another event. We did something that we care about, we our community care about, and we've been putting the effort for so long, right? This event was not promoted in a month and a half. This event was waiting to happen for 3-4 years, okay? And the best tactical tips that I can give you, if you're doing robotics, fashion tech, food tech, fintech, I don't know, desk tech, whatever tech you're doing, right? Don't start with your events. You have to be there all the time. Give value. If you want to do the best fashion tech event, have the best fashion tech blog, right? Put in the effort before asking anything back, right? And that's how you make people wait for your event, right? So when you see like keynote speakers or you see the next like Web Summit or any big conference or even the smallest meetups, right? You always look at the keynote speakers, right? Because there's value that they gave you before. There's something that you're interested in about. So when you build that event, that's what you need to think about. What will grab people's attention? What will give them value? Everything else is useless tactics, right? Everything else you can leverage. If there's no value, if you didn't give the value before, the event is going to be very hard to market, right? So, any questions before we wrap this up? Shocked?
One question.
Yeah.
Why not cap the attendees list or move the event to a bigger location once you see that so many people are?
So this goes back to the email we sent of me being an idiot, 80% of it. So basically what happened is that we had the location, and to be super honest, when I saw the numbers go up, I did not believe that all these people were going to show up. I've done events in the past with the music industry. I've been to meetups. I've been speaking at meetups. And actually when I saw the numbers, and I thought like, there's no way. Like I've been to so many meetups, so many events. There were never like 1,000 people to show up. Like there's no 1,000 people who actually care about marketing. That didn't make sense to me at a point. And when we got here, the event started I think at 7. It was like 5:45, and we had like 50 people already in, and we're like, doors should not even be open for the next hour. What are you guys doing here? And we're like, yeah, we want to get an early seat. Like, that's weird, right? But but that's when I actually understood it's going to be a huge, huge event. And also that we could not move the venue. I think we spoke about this. It was like but we could not move the venue, and we didn't think that it's going to hold up the amount of people. Yeah, but like my next talk is how to handle hatred when people see you in the street. By the way, that was like it's fun because it was successful, but it was like a very harsh moment because a lot of people were very disappointed. And angry. Like we're disappointed, like I'm Polish, like I'm Argentinian, which means like in my gut I know how to feel when someone is disappointed with me. But anger, that was new for me. But it was a successful event, but actually having so many people left out, right? This is a bad part of what we've done. This is a bad part of our planning, right? Which we also need to take consideration of. Yeah, you.
Just a thought. I think that once you cross a tipping point of number of people that interested, and people see so many interested, okay, something special about it. I should go too.
Might be. I thought you were going to say when you see so many, the tipping point, start charging money, but no. Yeah, might be. Listen, it's also a roller coaster, and I remember when we spoke with people about the people coming to talk at the event. They were super excited, right? Like basically when I spoke with Dania and like asked her to come in, I had so many questions that I just wanted to ask her. And as a friend, I did not feel as comfortable to ask her about how she works, right? And I knew so many people, like you could see it after everything we closed, shut it down, and you could see how many people are like, we have to get her into our team. So you understand it's like super valuable. People like saying something else beside like the huge value these people give, right? That's what made the event, right? Like these people are practitioners. They're in the trenches. They're not talking about how we did this 3 years ago, right? Justin did this, and the next day he was, at work still doing the work. And I think that's what really speaks to people. And I think that you can easily see this with content online, right? 5 years ago, 3 years ago, you could have easily, survived with like how to get more followers on Twitter and like get tons of share for that superficial article. And now it has to be like how we got 14,322,000 followers on Twitter in 32 minutes using Reddit, right? That's super specific because everything advances, right? And I'm going to share this secret with you and everybody who's watching right now. Like maybe one person, I don't know. I've never done like how to bring people to your Facebook Live event before. So the real truth is that most best practices are crap. When something becomes a best practice, it means that so many people has done it before that this is like the new, this is the new entry level. Content marketing, by the way, it's not an edge anymore. If you're not doing content, right? I think the first talk I have with everybody these days, I'm heavy on Snapchat these days. I was influenced by Gary Vaynerchuk. I had a talk with him about it. That's what got me into Snapchat. And everybody's like, but what are you getting out of it? Like, are there leads? Are you getting business from it? Snapchat, for example, right now is where Twitter was in 2010. It's where Instagram was in 2010, almost 11, right? Most marketers, think about it's your event, think about it's your companies. I don't know what you guys are doing besides holding the events, but most people come into the scene way too late, right? Everybody using features way too late. Like, if someone is not using Facebook Live right now and is not understanding that Facebook is promoting Facebook Live like shit right now, right? You're missing out. If you're not on Snapchat right now because I don't have enough followers, or I'm too old for this, or I think that no, it's only for teens who sound like sexting with each other. It's not true, right? This is stuff that you get in the headlines for people who just don't want to adopt new technology, right? How many of you know that Twitter died 5 times, like 7 times? I don't know. Right? People are more sure that Elvis is alive than Twitter is alive right now. This is the start way. But Twitter brings in leads. Google Plus communities brings in tons of traffic. Right? But every time you say something about Google Plus, everybody jokes like, oh, does anybody use it? Yeah. No, fuck you. Yeah, they're using it. I see it in my analytics every day. Google Analytics, by the way, self-promotion. Right? But I see it every day. And most people just they don't practice. They just read headlines, throw stuff around. But best practices don't work, which means that you always have to be one step ahead. This is what we've done with this. This is what you have to do with your next event. right? Everybody are bringing this speaker because it's the best speaker. Don't use that speaker. Everybody heard that speaker, right? Stop inviting me to talk about how to grow your community. Everybody heard that talk, right? That's the way I feel this, but I've done it like over 40 times in the last 2 years. Everybody heard that talk. Don't invite me to this. Bring someone else who's younger than me, newer than me, grew a community last year, right? Bring them to speak, right? Do that. Don't never ask the question like, who do you think I should bring? Who's the person you would bring to talk to this event? Don't do that. Everybody heard him or her, right? Everybody did. Like, if you ask me who's the best speaker right now to build a community, and I'm like, this is like the most like, nepotism there is, but my wife is amazing at it. She actually grew like 5 amazing communities. Stop asking me. She's doing it right now. I'm being a boring ass CEO right now for company. She's in the trenches. She's doing it, right? Think about it for your next event. If you see something everybody are doing, if you read an article on how to promote your next event, read it and say, okay, I have to do it. I have to go more extreme. Or everything that is listed here right now, that's crap. Everybody's doing it already. If somebody already captured it as the best practice, right? It's boring. That simple. It's like rumors, right? If it's in, it's like viral videos. If it's in Tino Laila, right? You've seen it, right? If you saw a video first time in Tino Laila, you know that it's been going on Facebook for like a month before. It's been a year already in Reddit or something like that, right? Everything starts at Reddit. Like 1 light year later, it gets to Facebook. So don't understand best practices. Go to the more extreme level. Do something unique. Okay, that's what's going to win your next event. Right? If you use the hashtag we use, it's not going to work for you. If you use my practices, it might not work again for the same community. Okay.
Two questions.
Yeah.
The first one, you're talking about building a community.
Yeah.
That was an event that was 6 months ago. Are you planning to do every month, every year? Or
What, the event?
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
And the second one, which is
Yeah.
can I ask, what did you gain personally? What was your outcome personally from all of these campaigns?
Okay. Honest question. Okay, I'm going to give you the real answer for both of them. I'm not planning to do any event in the near future. Didn't think about it when we've done this one. Didn't think about it when we sent like 3 emails and gave value. Didn't think about it. I just said like these people spent time, they drove, they paid for parking, they had babysitters, I don't know. They came in, they gave me time, space, mind space to sit down and listen to this event. Same thing, by the way, I feel about all of you. You just came here and you're listening to me blabbing for, I don't know, like 2 days, I don't know, I just went, like, asked for 30 minutes. I don't know what day it is anymore, right? But I just thought about value. I don't know if we're going to do the next event next year. I don't know if Google will accept us again next year. We're moving to Caesarea. We're going to do this in the Yad Lebanim. We're having Eyal Golan coming to speak about growth hacking. No, it's a bad brand name. Okay, so I don't know. I didn't think about it. We actually, the only thought we had after we saw that it was super successful is that we actually wanted to make it very, very small and do like fireside chats with growth hacking practitioners in Israel and like abroad. We were talking about either a live event or bringing into our offices that can hold like, let's say 50 people. I've been to one at Intercom in Dublin and it was an amazing experience. And we actually wanted to do this in a very, very small way. And we actually wanted to market only for that mailing list for like 6 months. And we just didn't do it eventually. We didn't have the time. In terms of personally, I'm going to answer the most like anti-Donald Trump answer I can give. I didn't care. For me, it was like, personally, I had fun listening to these people speak. Because listen, there's so many technical questions I wanted to ask Dania and Justin from Yotpo for such a long time that for me that was the best opportunity in the world.
I'm asking them, didn't need to do all of that campaign.
So no, you know what? But at some level of questions, because most of these people who came in are really good friends of mine. There are people I would drink coffee with, beer with, and I would not grill them about their work as much, and I would not get that perspective, and I would not get questions from other people as well. And also by doing this, I feel like I show them appreciation. They do amazing work. They're really good people, right? So for hosting this event, for them, not for me, not about me, right? I was appreciating them, was appreciating the audience and the attention. The personal, I don't know, I guess that I guess it's somewhere inside me is like an egomaniac saying, we brought that many people to the event. I'm in charge of the best, I guess, but I just didn't think about it. Everybody who knows me here, I spent so much hours mentoring startups in the past 3 years. And we're talking hours upon hours, 2 a.m. phone calls. I sleep like 4 hours a night. Like, I think most people here who knows me knows that because they get text messages like 2:30 saying something like, hey, I haven't decided yet, let's do this and this. Sorry, I'm just calling you back. Are you awake now? It's like, no, it's 4 a.m. Leave me alone. Right? Like, who is this? Stop, I told you to stop calling me. No, so it was just about value. I don't need anything back from this community right now. Maybe in the future I will need something, when we launch the new brand, will call up everybody and say, hey, I need a favor, share this on Facebook. I don't know. But it's about value. It's about helping others. This has been my mission statement from the early days when I was working with musicians, right? Musicians, I don't know if you know this, it's a kept secret, they have no money. Right? It's like this is one of the hardest industries. But for me, it all started by seeing someone that I really appreciated their music. I just thought more people need to know about this beautiful thing, and this person has a dream and he's passionate about it. I want to help him get there. That's the same way I feel about startups, and about giving value. That's it. Like I don't know. That's the most honest answer I can give you. It was just about providing value, and going, back to you have the community about the people after death, right? Yeah, so I'm going to go there for a second. After I die, and I will die, we all die, by the way. Spoiler alert, we're all going to die.
One person knows that.
Yeah, but you still nobody's responsible. Like it's not the funnest topic, right? Let's be honest. Though 6 Feet Under was a great show. But as I have a kid now, she's 9 months old, right? After I die, can be tomorrow, can be 5 years, can be 50 years, 80 years. Google is working on some stuff to extend it even more. Right? But I will die eventually. And I want my legacy for my kid, for the people around me, to be really good. Right?
So talk to me about your digital legacy, because I have a few points for you to make.
Can we monetize this? I want also to be financially secure. No, no, it's honestly, we're all gonna die, and after you die, you don't take money with you, you don't take anything. You just have a legacy that you've built. And the people around you are affected by it, and the people who know you're affected by it. And that's it, right? Like, it doesn't matter how much money I'll make out of it. No product on launch is gonna equal to that. And so this first spoiler, we're all gonna let's sum it up. We're all gonna die, and if you want your Facebook page to be secure, this is no.
There's something you should be doing.
Next talk will be about how to. So that's it. That's the most honest truth I can give about it. Any other questions, or you're all depressed from my answer? Any other questions? Okay, so thank you so much for the time.